well, who's been an influence in your life?
I think a lot of people right now, and since Bruce brought me into the office, a lot of the Métis Nation women that I see, the young women all around me, just makes me so proud and makes me so happy because I see so many changes and I see them picking up the pride, the dignity that we've lacked for so long and worked so hard for, like yourself. And I see Victoria, I see her mother, being such a devoted grandmother and a loving mother. And I admire her so deeply for that. She goes no matter where Victoria is and help her with her little boy. And when you see that strength in your family value, it's something unique.
You talked about the difference you've seen when women start to gain pride in themselves as Métis people, and you've noticed that difference in people, that it's changed them. How do you see that change?
Well, I think I would have to say in the past 20 to 30 years, a lot of women have become more educated, more independent, not, doting on their husbands and, expecting the men to look after everything like they used to. It's so nice to see the women holding their heads up and making choices and big decisions for big organizations like this. Victoria working so many, what do you call them? Portfolios? Yes. She's just got so many and that's a lot of work. And so, I don't know, sometimes it's interesting because she is so busy that when I need to talk with Victoria, she somehow reconnect, and she's there.
Great, thank you. And Lissa, for you, how have you seen others influence your life, or who has been an influencer in your life?
Well, during my childhood, it definitely would have been my grandmothers. And I think for a lot of women, it's probably the same, where the parents are, they're the ones that have the heavy loads at that time, and the grandmothers kind of always step in and help out. And so, traditionally in my family it was that way. I have one grandmother that's First Nations and one that's European. And it was one of my grandfathers that was Métis. So it's quite a different blend. And for my First Nations grandmother, she was in denial all her life and told she was part Hawaiian. So we didn't come to actually, have it verified that she was First Nations till later in life. So it was quite a different atmosphere for me growing up, and as a young woman, not really having Métis women in my life, and that acknowledged that they were Métis, or even a lot of First Nations people, because my grandmother was taken to residential school, so she grew up away from her own community. So for myself, it was a journey of self-realization. And I think the biggest influence that started me on my journey was during my education process, taking First Nations Indigenous courses and different things. university, I did an Indigenous specialization in social work, and that really helped me with my own personal journey and discovery of who I am and where I came from and where our people have come from. And so for me, that was a turning point in my life. And so very shortly after that, I was very grateful to actually meet Victoria Pruden, who was part of the Métis community in Victoria, and we got involved with her. And so we've gone quite the process in our own journey. We were both just part of the community, and then Victoria became a community president, and then or a vice president. Yeah. And then the president position became vacant, so Victoria stepped in by attrition into that, and I became Victoria's vice president. And we've had quite the journey over the past few years. So it's been quite exciting. And Victoria wasn't working for the Métis Nation at that time, of course. And when she began working for the Métis Nation, and then I think it was just shortly after that I got involved in the political end of it. So we've both gone through it's been a huge journey of growth within the Métis Nation. And I was thinking about that and about people being influential in my life right now. And that's our other Métis women and elders. And Victoria plays a huge part in my life. And it's the Métis women and that keep me going and are my inspiration. I've just enjoyed this conference immensely, just being amongst other women and the spirit of the women. And it's just an incredible feeling. And in my own family, my family of origin, not all, my whole family is on the journey yet of self-awareness and their culture and things. So my friends and family and the kinship with the people in our nation is huge. And I learned so much from our youth as well. And it's so wonderful to see our youth being involved in our culture earlier in life than where many of us didn't have that opportunity. So it's just, it just warms my heart to think of in 10 or 20 years where our nation will be with our youth that are living the culture and proud of it and proud to be